Hi, and we are here doing another Facebook Live for the Answers for Women 2018 conference, Life, Contending for Life from Beginning to End. And it is my pleasure this week to have with us VickiMoore here, joining us remotely. She is the CEO of Rahabs Rope out of Gainesville, Georgia. She's been in foreign missions for the last 20 years, and the last 10 years specifically focused on anti-trafficking in India. And from the website, the mission of Rahabs Rope is to give hope and opportunity to women and girls that are at risk or have been forced into the commercial sex trade of India. We provide a safe and loving environment that will enable them to grow and develop both physically and spiritually. And I first became aware of Rahabs Rope and some of the wonderful fair trade products that they have made and that they sell here in the U.S. at a yearly fair trade conference fair trade sale that our church coordinates. And we've also been privileged to have Vicki and her husband join us the last several years at the women's conference to sell the fair trade products there. So I'm so glad that Vicki could take some time from her busy schedule, because she's flying to be here with us today. So thanks for joining us, Vicki.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Well, why the name Rahabs Rope? You know, that's one that always just kind of sticks in my head and is kind of easy to remember. Why name your ministry that?
Well, I've done missions for a long time, and I was to India several times and loved it. About human trafficking in India. And I've never really heard of human trafficking before, but I loved India, so I started reading, and it gave the worldwide stats, but then it also boiled it down to a video interviewed a young lady that had been rescued. Prostitution there is 9 years old. And so this young girl said, I was forced into this as a little girl. I never got to go to school. I can't read or write. And I'm not asking for a free handout. I just want someone to teach me how to do something. And so that just really spoke to my heart, and just really could not get away from that. And at the same time that I was learning about all of this, I was enrolled at Liberty University in a biblical studies course. And it was Old Testament survey. And so that we were to the book of Joshua and the story of Rahab. And so my professor was asking a question about the flax plant that Rahab had the spies under. And she said, this plant, at least I have 2 grown men, maybe more. And he said, rope is made out of the flax plant. What do you think the chances are that Rahab may have made the rope in the story? And so just in studying that, and then at the same time feeling like God was calling me to do something to help these women, it just fit together with timing that we would call our ministry Rahabs Rope, and the things that we would teach our women would represent their rescue.
Oh, that's a really to hear the connection there. I mean, originally when I heard it, I thought, well, you know, Rahab was a prostitute, and obviously, you know, she was saved and from the destruction of Jericho, and so, but that's neat to see that connection to the fair trade as well that these women do. Why don't you give us some insight into the various activities? So when we talk about fair trade, again, these are women that are making products and then are sold in the United States, maybe other countries as well, giving these women a living wage so that they don't have to be involved in these trafficking. They can be out of slavery, out of servitude. And but I know there's other activities that you're involved in with Rahabs Rope. So why don't you give us some idea of some of those things?
Sure. Well, the product is a means for it has 2 means. It gives the women work, but then it also helps fund our ministry. And so we do sell product our women make, but we also sell products from other organizations, other fair trade companies, or other organizations that work with women similarly that we do. And so we provide in our centers, besides the vocational training, basic education skills. Sometimes we're able to, more in our prevention area, able to move girls forward more in a higher education. We have one girl in college right now that wants to be a teacher, so counseling through that. Just in it's different with each individual, and so just whatever it's going to take to move her forward. Of course, the counseling and then on medical, there's a lot of medical needs there, as you can imagine,
right.
With these women.
Sure. So you have actual centers in India that you're physically have these women at, that you're assisting them.
Exactly. We started in 2004, actually, and we started as an aftercare home. So initially our focus was all aftercare for women that had been rescued. And so they could live there if they needed housing. If they did not need housing, they could just come for the day for the education vocational training. And then we added as you begin to learn more and you see the full circle of everything, prevention is much better, and so a door is opening for us next in a prevention mode. So we're working in an at-risk area where the average age children drop out of school is 2nd grade, and a lot of suicide attempts for teenage girls because this is a possibility for them. And so we have after-school tutoring classes for 85 children 5 days a week. We do life skill classes for teenage girls. If possible to get them in school, we do. If not, they're older, we put them in the vocational training program and move them forward there. And then we also work, next thing that opened up for us was to be able to work directly in a red light area. So we have a little building in the middle of about 1,000 women that are still being trafficked. And so we have our staff that are there 5 days a week, and our goal is to try to get women and children out, but we can't really say that. So we have literacy classes, we have some vocational training, and provide a lot of medical care there, all in an effort to build trusting relationships to be able to get women out of those places.
Okay, so you're providing for them, obviously, in a very physical, a very real way, ways to get out of this. How do you, though, obviously a very important component of this is the gospel, and how are you able to share that with the ladies?
Well, India's a difficult place for sharing the gospel out publicly, but in our centers, we have freedom to do and say whatever we want to. And so it's nothing that if someone that comes to ask, are they forcing you to do this? Are they requiring you to believe as they believe? Or are they requiring you? The answer would be no, because no one's forced. All the women know that it's there, it's available. They can join in any of the Bible studies. In the red light area, every Monday we have a prayer and worship service for the women every Monday there. So our center's open. Those that can come and want to come, and if they don't, they don't.
Sure.
But definitely, and for our after-school program, Bible memorization is very much a part for the children. It's much easier to do that with the children.
Sure.
So that's very much a part of what we do there, the Bible stories and the songs and games, and just like we do here at home, in Sunday school and vacation Bible school type thing. So we are pretty successful in being able to share the gospel. And, we do that. Our tagline is love in action. And so initially, you're not just going to go in and quote scripture or read a story, and, you got to extend love. And that's what we do, is we love on these women in a way that no one care for them, and love on them in a way they've never received before.
Right.
And they see the difference and come to understand what the difference is.
Yeah, and I'm sure, one of the talks that we're going to have at the conference is talking about the difference, how Christianity views life is so different from how other religions view life. And certainly the ones that they're coming out of there have a very different view of life and the value of life. And so I'm sure this is a major change for them. I mean, it's a worldview change. It's a real heart change to see the difference in how Christians are treating them and what the message of the gospel versus what they've learned as part of their religion there.
Exactly. As part of their religion, but then just also as part of being a woman. You can look on any number of news websites or the United Nations, and it will say that India is the worst place for a woman to live.
Wow.
Women really have no value there. They're treated more as objects, and then even more so in the context of where we work.
Yeah.
And so for them to be treated with respect and dignity and to feel like somebody cares about them is something they've really never experienced before.
Right.
And so, and in their religion, I'm simplifying it, but it's more of a works-based, I need to appease the gods so that they don't get mad at me.
Right,
you know?
right.
And so that's more their concept. And so to think, oh, there's a God that loves me for who I am and will accept me for who I am is a very different concept. And by our staff and, you know, our volunteers that go overseas, extending love to them with no conditions and just because they want to, you know, share Christ's love with them, they see a God in a very different view than they ever have before.
Well, they see it, you know, through your actions, obviously, and then you can back that up with, well, why are we doing this? You know, why is this so important to us? I was looking the other day, and one of the statistics I read that said that there are approximately 20.9 million women and children that are being sex trafficked in the world, or in slavery in some way in the world today. And those are just shocking numbers. And I think, and it may even be obviously more than that, but it's hard for us, you know, in our comfortable lifestyles here in the United States to think, well, I'm one person, you know, really what can I do to try to make a difference for this person that's halfway around the world? And so one of the things, you know, we're going to be talking about at the women's conference is, you know, practical ways. You know, what are some practical ways that we can help these women? So why don't you just give us like one example of a very practical way that we can make a difference in someone's life?
Well, one thing would be to educate yourself on the information. Prayer is huge. We need to, our organization, all organizations fighting human trafficking need to be covered in prayer. But if you don't understand the problem or know very much about it, then you don't really know how to pray for that problem. And so educating yourself on the issues at hand. And I mean, slavery is the fastest growing crime in the world, which is just totally unacceptable to me and should be to all of us. That is, you know, selling people is $150 billion a year, you know, market. And so just learning more about it, helping other people, making other people aware of the situation, and then getting involved. You know, I don't expect everybody to go to India, and India is not the only place trafficking occurs. It occurs right in our own back door.
It does.
So find out, you know, find somewhere that you can plug in and find a way to help an organization that is fighting human trafficking, because it is a huge problem all over the world.
Right. And I think that's something, I mean, all of us can do regardless, is prayer and education. Those are pretty easy things. Like when I was looking up some information on this yesterday, there's a lot of websites out there devoted to talking about this, because you begin to realize it's such a huge problem. We just had the Super Bowl, obviously, here in the U.S., and I know that's a really, sadly, in the community surrounding where it takes place, sex trafficking is a big, big problem. And so it's something that we all need to be aware of, no matter where we live, no matter what country we're living in, that these things are going on. Well, I'm really excited to hear more from Vicki and sharing her heart on this particular issue that, like I say, is big all over the world, and we need to really be concerned about it. And April 6th and 7th is our conference. Vicki will just be back from another trip to India. She'll be back for about a week, so she has a little bit of time to recover, but you can go to answersforwomen.org to register. And we have a special contest going on right now. We are offering a fair trade kind of gift box for those that register in the month of February. So there's lots of opportunities to do that. You can find out more on answersforwomen.org to learn how to do that. Again, registration gets you in the contest, so that's my understanding, correct? Yes, I'm getting the thumbs up. So that's my understanding. So take advantage of that. It's a really nice basket, and again, helps these women that need a supportable income in these other countries. And don't forget, you get free attendance at the Creation Museum and the Ark, and 20% off for your family. And so we're about out of these. I don't think we're doing any more because we went through all our speakers, which is awesome. And so if you want to look at past ones, you can look at the Answers for Women events page and find those on there, or my Facebook page. But we hope that you'll attend, and we hope to see you there.